Well, one of the perks of being coached Nick Fowler for several years was some of the guys he played practice rounds with. A couple of them, Ben Crenshaw and Brad Faxon, arguably the best ever two putters. And I picked their brains about how they practiced, and over 50% of their practice time on putting was green reading. I mean, you know how to use the Powerlines now. You can get your putter face square, you can get it starting on the right line, but if you can't read the line, you're actually going to putt worse. So how do you see the invisible line? There's quite a few things into green reading, and it's an art that can be learned. Good green reading is all about visualization and experience, but how can you see an invisible line? I'll show you how to do that in a minute, but let's take a few factors in to how this is going to break, or if it's going to break. Got about a 20-foot putt. This slope never changes, but I can tell you, I can give plenty of golf lessons, or putting lessons out here, and this changes all day, changes with the elements, with the wind. At the moment, it's pretty benign, but if we had a wind coming from the right-hand side, this will break maybe I'd say at least a foot more. It's quite damp, the ground at the moment. It's getting sort of late afternoon, bit of dew coming down. Moisture is very sticky. It makes the ball stick to the ground. So that's going to say it's not going to break quite so much. We can definitely see the slope coming down this way. We know it's coming here. We've got to think about the pace. Now, it's looking like it's going uphill and then downhill at the end towards the hole. I can just start, and whenever the second part of the putt, I would say, is downhill, it's going to break a lot at the end. So we need to visualize the line the ball is going to come in towards the hole. So with my power lines, that's going to help us a lot. Let's go and have a look how we do that. It's quite fast coming down here, so the ball's going to be coming in, just dropping in slowly, because if it gets any pace, I can really see this getting away. So visualize the speed coming in. It's going to affect the break a lot more than the slope. Now there's three ways you can use your power lines for this. You could feel you've got a dummy hole to the side, and just start to visualize the line. I mean, we can clearly see this is the front of the hole to the ball, but I would say this is more the front of the hole where the ball is going to come in. So you could build this up, and then you've got to try and putt around it. Now, I'm not saying this is the right line or the wrong line, but it's going to give me a reference for where I'm putting. So it's experience and visualization. Another way we could do it, imagine if the putt missed. Imagine this was cellophane and the ball was gone over. Where will it finish? Something like this. And we could putt and see if that's correct. Or we could just sandwich this in between, and can we get the ball coming round? I think a good starter, I like this one. Where's the ball going to finish if it misses? And what line is it going to come in? Now I'm going to put my other power lines up there, so guaranteeing that I'm starting on the correct line, and let's see if that line is the correct one. Now to me, when I've got back here and I can see the visual that those balls coming to the hole, that doesn't look high enough to me. It's giving me a really good impression of where it's going to come in. There's nothing to make it go up the slope. So anyway, I'll try this one, I'll try it. I've got to start the ball out there. So start on the correct line, and does it then feed into the line and towards the hole? That's all you've got to get, the first bit and the second bit. So I think this is going to start 6 inches to the left. I'm going to build my power line up now. So I've got to get it off here. And now I'm going to set up the stance to make sure I'm standing in the perfect position. In fact, I'm going to get Colin to hit this putt. He's an expert putter. So Colin's going to hit this putt for me, and let's see if this is the correct line. We certainly started out on a good line, but it's clearly way too low. So we've got great reference here. This is a fantastic bit of feedback we're getting. Somebody might have blamed that on pushing their stroke, but no, we saw that come off the power line. He started on the perfect line. It was clearly an under read. So let's move our power lines out. Now, I would say this looks more like the line we need to get the ball coming in, which to most people would look ridiculously high. But let's move the power lines around now here. So I've got to get this starting left again to build on, and that's looking a lot better now. Again, I'm saying it's looking better, it's because I'm played out on tour for 15 years and I've got quite a bit of experience, I can see that looks correct. And that's when a top putter says, I can see the line, because it's all about experience. So put this here. It takes a few seconds to set up, but it's not how long you practice, it's how constructively you practice that is important. Let's give that a go. Do the stuff, Colin. He's like a machine, this guy. Slight push. Okay, you see that coming off the power line. He didn't get it down the line, so that wasn't a true representation. So he's got it down the line. He's hit a little bit hard, but you could see that curvature was looking good. He's hit that, well, ideally we'd hit that about 18 inches past. He's hit that 4 feet past. He's now looking like he's getting the correct curve. As I said, that could change during the day. If we get more wind coming from this side, if the green dries out, it might be another foot to the left. But at least it's a great way of practicing putting. With the same position every time, we can see whether you're starting on the correct line, and you're seeing the visualization and you're practicing your pace all at the same time.